Hello, collective. Welcome to the Moon Report. My name is Marlene, the modern mystic, and your resident moon goddess, bringing the report for a Pisces partial lunar eclipse full moon packed with so much power. And I first want to begin by, going over what a full moon is and this phase, reminding us of what is most beneficial during this phase of the moon. And this is when the moon is illuminated, right? It's fully illuminated. And it's the phase that brings us most insight. It reveals things that were hidden in the past. It gets us to manifest certain things and also giving us insight as to what is not working and what needs to be released. And this particular full moon is a big release full moon. It's in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, and it represents the end of a cycle for you and the beginning of something extraordinary if you want it. Now, it doesn't come without its sacrifices and without its um, conditions. But it does promise us that we can bring our dreams into reality. And it empowers us with the discernment to know the difference, know the fantasy versus the reality. It's This full moon is happening in Pisces. So directly across from Pisces, the sun is in Virgo. And Virgo wants to get it right and is really practical about its approach. When Pisces is all over the place and there are no boundaries or rules to hang on to. And it can get quite polar during this full moon. And if we can self-care, if we can stay regulated, if we can do nothing about it, if we can just let it go, if we can just let it unfold and just happen, and maybe watch and observe, and instead of acting into it, maybe taking care of ourselves through it, then maybe we can begin to sift through the illusion and sometimes delusion of the whole thing. So let's let's go step by step here because there's a lot of information. Collective, like I said, this is a partial lunar eclipse, a full moon in Pisces that happened last night at 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when a full moon happens, it's already intense, it's in its full illumination. But when an eclipse is attached to a moon like this, the intensity rises and it actually marks something. It marks a place, it bookmarks a place within you, in your story. And this lunar eclipse is happening in the nodes, which is Aries Libra axis. So, surprise, surprise, this is a lot about relationships and how we see themes from previous eclipses maybe showing up during this eclipse when it has to do with our relationships and how we act and preserve throughout relationships, how we keep our individuality through the seasons and the phases of our relationships. Now, again, I said this is about letting go. So you may find that you might be letting go of people, places. Some of us may be moving, maybe like changing just apartments or homes, um, but also relationships within you may be changing, or the way that you react to how others respond, and how that begins to show us things about ourselves, where we get lost, where our shadows hide. And, this Virgo season, is not the happiest. I mean, I don't know if you've been feeling it, but it's kind of sobering, and we're seeing a lot of anxiety and worry happening with people, exhaustion, um, negative thinking, dark thoughts. And if that resonates with you, just know that you're not alone and that this has been drudging up our wounds in relationship. Chiron is, I believe, squaring the South Node in Libra. I believe so. I have to double check that. Please double check my astrologers who are live here, if you can. And I know that it's bringing up wounds and healing in certain relationships. And it's looking different for all of us. And sometimes we're beginning something new. Some of us are ending something old, but we are transforming. So what is this full moon bringing up for you? Now, maybe some of my astro enthusiasts here know where Pisces is in their chart, in their natal chart. Some um, of us, are just feeling kind of weird and are picking up themes and patterns that are happening to us. Um, yes, Mars in Cancer squaring the South Node. I'm like, I knew something was, but I know that Chiron is involved, and I don't know if it's with the North Node. Um, but whatever it is bringing up for you, just know that there may be some inspiration and some magic coming through, some spiritual connection that you're feeling. And that may all not make sense right now, and that's okay. Chiron is in the same sign as the North Node, opposite the South Node. Thank you, Ilona. Yes. And for that reason, it is, maybe drudging up things from the past, maybe bringing up some old patterns. Where were you last eclipse? Eclipses mark huge cycles that last as long as 6 months. And, we may be seeing a lot of things that we want, but not wanting to face some of the things that just need to be let go so that we can get there. So escapism may be showing up for some of us. We may be falling back into some addictions where we thought we may have conquered some of our vices, and all of a sudden they're showing up for us again. A lot of confusion may be coming through, especially because of, Neptune being conjunct this moon and opposite Mercury during the time of the full moon. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces and a major player during this full moon. And, it could get confusing and really warpy with Neptune. And for that reason, Virgo might be frustrated on the other end. We may be feeling frustrated, not knowing how to move forward, not having the exact plan, not seeing it clearly yet. Well, this is my invitation to cut yourself a slice of humble pie, because you are not alone and everyone's eating it. And we need to, or I invite you to become comfortable with the unknown. Many times the universe likes to test us through trickery. Neptune is a very tricky planet, and some trickery may be showing up for you where you are being shown lessons in ways that don't quite make sense, and have you having to pull from your discernment very deeply so that you know what it is you want and where it is that you're going, and really reaching into that belief system, because it is possible. And this moon is quite beautiful in terms of making your dreams a reality. And if you lean into Virgo, Virgo will give you a plan, they will set a schedule, they will get it done, and it'll be done right. So lean into a plan. And maybe this plan can't be executed right away. And maybe there's frustration around this plan, or it's not perfect, or you'll get really critical about it. But trust me, the more prepared you are right now for the opportunities that are just awaiting to show up for you, the better you'll be when they actually get there. And you'll be able to handle them. And you'll be able to, you know, put them in place quicker, execute them. So don't get caught up in the perfection of everything. Right now, there may not be evidence in front of you that is telling you, man, what Marlene is saying is right. My dreams are there, but it is possible. And during an aspect like this, it's so, so supportive of bringing forth whatever it is that you want to create. But practical approaches are the smartest thing right now. Keep it simple. Routines favor us, where you don't have to get decision fatigue with every decision that you have to make, like as many things as you can automate, as many things as you can push play on. Decision fatigue is a thing, you guys. Like, it really is a thing. And when we have to decide a gazillion things at like all times of the day, getting some things into a routine will really help your nervous system. So I mentioned that Neptune is in some difficult aspects with this moon. Um, the one that really bothers me the most is the Neptune opposed Mercury. It's a tough aspect, and it's especially tough during an eclipse. It intensifies. And this moon is also squaring Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So all of these energies that are weird and could be firing off in negative ways will only be expanded by Jupiter. So it might not be the right time to make a move. And Neptune opposed Mercury is a reality check in some way. And we want to be able to, I don't know, minimize the impact, be prepared for whatever's coming, or move out of the way if it's not for you. Have the discernment that you need to take care of you. Now, Mars in Cancer is urging us to rest. We just need, right now, we just may need to take a break. Just reflect, process, observe, take a step back. Don't have the conversation right now. Things may get lost in translation, and you don't want to move forward with something that's so important to you in a time where it may be misconstrued, or there may be misunderstandings. Allow this wonky energy and trust your own intuition that you're going to know when it's time to move forward with a plan, to move forward with a conversation, to move forward with a relationship, whatever it may be and however it's showing up for you. So it's not going to be perfect. Don't get caught up in that. Think about what you're going to release to soften. We're invited to soften right now. and to take a load off and remain fluid throughout our daily life, especially. You know, Virgo is very, very concerned with our daily activities. And how does that make us the most vital and the most productive and the healthiest that we could be? If you are struggling with a health concern right now, there may be some insight that this full moon brings in terms of that journey for you. So stay open, um, stay awake, stay fluid, and don't expect it to look exactly the way that you imagined it. So that's all I've got for you. There's a lot there to unpack, I'm sure. And I invite you to return to this space, always for support and sisterhood, and just like, really, really delicious conversation around how these energies, manifest in our life. Why is it that we spend 20 minutes here talking about the moon? And why is that so personal to us? So continue to come back. We really appreciate your support. I really appreciate your support. And, you can always join us live. If you are part of the Anima Collective, if you are not and you're watching us on another platform or YouTube, click somewhere in the comment section. You have to be in this community. This is a fantastic group of strong women that are ready to cheer you on, celebrate you, and support you. My name is Marlene. I will see you on the other side of this portal in the new moon. Enjoy eclipse season. And let me know ever if you have any questions. This video will be posted in Mighty Networks. And you can always leave questions in the comment section or suggestions as to what you want to see during these reports. If you want to see something different, something new, always open to feedback. Enjoy, rest, and take some time for self-care. Take care.